everybody, and welcome back to another Flex episode. I'm Jeanette Diergaard, your presenter for Flex. Now today we have a few things lined up for you. We will be talking to Emily Kandanga, which is the co-founder of Sweat Fitness and fitness enthusiast. And then we will go back to the NHP, the mental health series that they are hosting, and we'll just listen what Mark Joseph has to say and how we can cope during COVID-19. So stay tuned for all that, and I will see you at the interview with Emily. Welcome to the interview, everybody. I'm Jeanette Diergaard. With me is Emily Kandanga, personal trainer and co-founder of Sweat Fitness.
Yes.
Welcome, Emily.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's so awesome to have you here. Can you briefly explain or introduce yourself to those who don't know you yet?
Sure. My name is Emily Kandanga, as so beautifully introduced, and I am one of the co-founders of Sweat Fitness and the head trainer. And I am certified in personal training. I'm also a strength and conditioning coach. I also have a sports nutrition diploma. So my love for fitness spans across many, many aspects. And that's what I love to do. It's what I love to share with people. And it's why I'm here today.
Awesome. And Emily, when did you get into the fitness industry seriously and threw all your worry to the wind?
I've been doing fitness for a little over 10, 11 years. I started moving my body during university, and the minute I started, I wasn't able to stop because I just love the feeling. I love challenging myself. I love just every aspect of it, seeing my body transform, seeing my mind transform, seeing where I could push myself. So it's been a while, but professionally, I've been training clients and hosting a boot camp through Sweat Fitness for 5 years. 3 years with Sweat Fitness, but 5 years just doing my thing.
So you're the boot camp lady that makes everyone cry.
No, I'm actually the nice one.
Are you the nice one?
I'm the nice one, yeah. My co-founder Luanda, she's the one who's known as the hard ass.
The bad cop? Are you the good cop?
Exactly. So I'm the good cop, and everyone knows it. They know they can come to me and be like, Emily, this hurts today. I can't really. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. Do it this way. And Luanda's just like, it's go time.
Yeah, just push constantly. I didn't care about those pains. No, that's awesome, Emily. And let's talk about boot camp training. It's a bit different than your personal training, obviously.
Yes, definitely.
What's the major challenges there, especially when it's such a big group as well?
Well, I think at the beginning it really was finding a space for us, finding a space where we could host our bootcamp. That's been our biggest challenge because my partners that I'm in business with, we all have such a passion for fitness. 2 of us had it from the get-go. 1 of us developed it along the way. Like, she had her own personal journey through us building the business, and it's been so amazing to watch. I lost my train of thought.
We're talking about the boot camp.
Yes. The biggest challenge.
Yeah.
It's really just been fitting everyone into the class, especially with COVID right now. Before, when the gyms were open, it would just be being able to accommodate everyone and in a safe, in a way that they felt safe. So not sharing equipment, well distanced, sanitizing frequently. So I think that would be the biggest thing, because fitness comes easy to us. That's the fun part for us.
Awesome. You are also very active on your Instagram. That's where I follow you a lot and see what you're up to.
Thank you.
You are currently busy with your, is it Thursday tips, your health tips? Yeah. So what is it that you actually want to reach with your platforms, or the message that you want to broadcast rather?
I definitely want people to understand and value the importance of movement, and to really go on their own personal journeys. I don't want to shove anyone into any place that they're not ready to go to, and that's the part that I love the most about my job, is just watching people go through that journey themselves and really fully understand and step into it and like, oh wow, no, this is something that actually I probably do need to do every day, so that it kind of centers me. It gives me an outlet to get rid of any anxious energy. You know, it allows me to just press pause and be with myself. Like those are the things that I want people to take away, and then to also learn that food doesn't have to be restrictive, and you can live your life, enjoy your cake, and exercise, and just be happy overall, well-rounded. Like it's possible.
Yeah, I like that you said that you don't want to force people when they're not ready into that kind of lifestyle or anything.
Yeah.
Can you perhaps just elaborate on the importance of being ready and working on your time, but also realizing that the sooner you do something, the better it will be for you? Yeah.
I do believe that journey, that no matter how long it takes, is very important, and everybody needs to go through it, because when you do arrive to this destination, it really just clicks. Like everything just makes sense for you, and you're able to sustain it and integrate it into your lifestyle. Whereas when it's kind of because of something, a birthday or a vacation
or a wedding, to get
into that
drop
dress.
A lot of sizes.
Or a wedding. Like those things, they come and go. So your consistency will also be fluctuating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And especially now, the times that we're in, the COVID-19 pandemic, what would you say is the importance of, as you also said, centering yourself and releasing all those scooped up energy and frustrations?
It's very important for that. I mean, I feel like we're all operating under high stress. Like we've just been living highly stressed ever since this pandemic started. At least that's how I feel. Like I'm like ticky boom boom. And it's really that's why exercise for me is like a must. I need to have this moment to just let out all of that energy so that I can feel good. Guys, endorphins.
Especially that moment to yourself, because everybody's going through a lot of things and they want your attention. They want you to also help them. So,
it's true. And in this world that we're living in, the phones are like calling our attention. 5,000 different apps that you have on there, like notifications after notifications. It's a lot. So just to be able to put everything to the side, and I'm so particular when I'm training. I don't want anybody calling me. If you do and I answer, you're special. Because most of the time I'm just like not taking calls.
So how has your personal training with your clients changed during the pandemic?
With my clients, I've been so fortunate that they've all wanted to continue training, and we've just adjusted. So it varies. Some people are comfortable seeing me in person. They just, we're just ensuring that we're keeping our distance. I'm wearing my mask the entire time. I'm sanitizing frequently, and boom, I'm gone, you know? So we're keeping safe that way. And then some of them would prefer not to be in person. So I've started training them virtually, which I'm loving. So, and they're loving. And some of them actually don't want to go back to in person. Like,
have you had any situations where some of your clients are recovering from COVID and you have to help them get back on track again?
Definitely, but I do so from really a distance, because I don't want them to feel like pressured to get up and exercise because I said so. So I really, more than anything, I really step away and I just check into every now and then just to see how they're doing. But and just encourage them to, if they feel like it, go for a walk, really light. I think a lot of people, especially when they've been training with me, when they want to go back in, they just want to like dive in, and I'm like, how about a walk? Because I remember I had COVID too, and I experienced it as somebody who's well-conditioned, a body that's well-conditioned, but I really, really felt the effects afterwards, trying to get back into exercising, being able to breathe and use my lungs the way that I was before. I felt it. So it's nothing that needs to be rushed. We really, really have to take your time and let your body go through the process.
It's awesome. And what would you start someone off like that was at that fitness level, and now because of that, because of COVID-19, that to reduce the exercises? Where do you start with training like that?
Definitely with walks, and that's something they can do on their own. I always suggest that people take their family, their pets, because it's a lifestyle. You don't want to be doing it in isolation, you know?
Yeah.
It's way easier when you're able to have people around you supporting you. So going on those walks, and then slowly easing into body weight training with me. And then we would slowly pick it up. So it would be right back like if I was training a beginner. That's exactly where I would start them up again. So from low intensity, working up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And during these times, you have also been very busy. As I know that you are you the model now for Gondwana, the fitness model? I know they released
that was such an experience.
Was that such an experience? How was that? Like you're normally exercising and training other clients, and now you have to be this fitness model.
So believe it or not, I actually used to model.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you have the height for it.
during my uni days, while I was studying in Malaysia, I was really active on the runway, print.
Yeah.
I did a lot of it. So for me, I will never say no to an opportunity to be like, hey, camera. So it was perfect. And the fact that it was a fitness shoot, and I just felt like my body was just in the right place, like physically, because I've always wanted to do a shoot, but I've always felt like this is not right yet. You know, that's personal stuff. and that time they called, it was just perfect. And I was just like, yes, I'm here. And the clothes fit so beautifully.
Yeah.
And it was just so fun, and they had fun, I had fun. It was just a great experience, and the photos look amazing. Wow.
So how would the model shoot, like your normal model posing shoot, differ from the fitness shoot? It's still quite posy. It actually is still quite posy in holding the poses. Now it's just holding the poses for like strange amounts of time so that they can really get the shot. Doing jumps in the air. I mean, but modeling also, you kind of, it's pretty much the same actually. Okay.
Yeah, it translates.
Yeah, and you also have the NMC, the fitness thing. Is that still going, or how does that actually work?
That works with every now and then we'll do an episode.
Yeah.
So it's, I believe every month they try and shoot one, but I do believe they're also rotating and giving other fitness enthusiasts and trainers an opportunity to feature. So I'm always just happy to get the call though.
No, that's great, Emily. Is there perhaps any last words you'd like to say to the public, or like a health tip perhaps?
I would just like to encourage everyone to try and take the time and make the time to prioritize moving your body in any way that you find that you enjoy. Really just find another reason for you to do it, and try not to copy what everyone else is doing. Look for something that you like to do and do that. Pay attention to what you're putting into your mouth, because food is fuel, and you really want to make sure that you're eating things and consuming things that will fuel your body and help it be better for the next day, for the next day, for the next day, and all these other emotional things that we have to overcome. So your strength also comes from your food. And also make sure that you keep aware of the type of energies that you keep around you, because that's also make or break. And we really need to ensure that we're having positivity around us, and we are being positive people ourselves and shining light on, rather than, walking around being angry people and being mean. Please, guys, it's a pandemic. Please be nice to each other. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me, Janet.
Okay. So we'll go over to the ad break right now, and we'll see you guys in the next segment. That brings us to the end of the show. I'm Jeanette Diergaard, and remember to tune in to Flex again next time, tomorrow, and work out with us as well. So I will see you all in the next Flex episode, and after this we will be looking at the mental health series, day 8 on the mental health series from NHB.
Welcome back, Namibia. Hermine Elago is back with us, our beautiful storyteller. She's transformed her life, she's transformed her body, and I'm just so happy to have her back. She turned her pain into her power, as we've said before. And Hermine, how are you today?
You know, Mark, it's interesting that you said that your best can change from day to day. I remember on Friday, I felt so low, and I've learned how to just bear that sacred witness to myself and to allow myself that grace and that compassion to sit in the discomfort of whatever emotion comes up. And on Friday, it was just sadness and it was overwhelmed. So at around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I packed up everything. I was in bed by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I felt no shame and no guilt about it. And I just allowed my emotions to do what they do. There are messengers, and mine were just telling me that this collective grief and pain is a lot, and I just needed to rest and restore and go back to my place of refuge, which is my inner world. And that's what I did. Now, today, on the other hand, I feel empowered to do what I came here to do, which is to tell stories of healing and of overcoming. So Friday, it was be in bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and today it's show up and be a light and help others, you know, where you can, as best as you can, to also find meaning and purpose in all this chaos right now. So that's how I am today.
It always makes me happy when I hear how people look after themselves. I remember I was the managing director of an advertising agency a few years ago, and sometimes I'd look at an employee of mine and they didn't look well, or they looked sad, and I'd say, why don't you take the rest of the day off, or go and lie down on the couch and I'll make you a cup of tea or something like that, you know. But for me, I would push myself 7 days a week, wouldn't lie on the couch, wouldn't go home. And I thought to myself, you're so nice to everybody else, but you're really not very nice to yourself. So to practice self-compassion and self-kindness is actually very, very rare, because we're so busy putting the oxygen mask on everybody else, but forgetting ourselves. And that is actually the most important person. I mean, you know, you look like a lady that is, you've obviously done a lot of work on yourself. You're still in the process of creating yourself on a daily basis. And yeah, can you tell us a little bit about your journey towards your own healing? You mentioned you come from a place of pain and into a place of power. What does that journey of healing look like?
Absolutely. So, Mark, I think like I mentioned on Friday, I had grace for myself, but my journey on healing also taught me how to have grace for others. So I was 5 when my parents sent me to boarding school in Cape Town, and I think I mentioned this last time. And as a result, I developed this great fear of abandonment and a fear of rejection. And growing up and just growing up, I tried to fill it with so many different things. I started smoking in grade 10, and it was drinking, and it was promiscuity, and it was, you know, dabbling in drugs. But my drug of choice really became food. I was sharing with a couple of my ladies. I've got a group called Brave Hearts on Facebook. And I was just sharing with them about how food for me has not just been food, it's been a place of refuge and comfort, a place where I would run to find acceptance and approval. And I realized that I was slowly killing myself. And so in 2013, when I started this journey, I initially thought it was just a weight loss journey, but I'm realizing that all of us are just on a healing journey, whatever it is that we are facing, or whatever it is that we've placed into our shadow and cast away there, and that we're too terrified to look at. That is where our healing lies. I had to look at the dark spaces, the places that I never wanted to look at. I didn't want to revisit them, because revisiting them meant revisiting that rejection, that abandonment. I now understand that my parents were doing their absolute best. It was a privilege to have been in the place that I was in, but 5-year-old me did not understand that. And I also had to learn how to go back to that place of where I was 5 and validate my experience and tell 5-year-old me, my inner child, that I hear you. Your experience is valid. I see you, and I will never abandon you. And I was telling somebody recently that it almost felt like I had to fight myself to free myself. And it blows my mind that sometimes you have to fight yourself to free yourself. You have to fight the places that you find comfort in. I had to fight the story and the narrative that I was clinging onto, because my inner child was clinging onto that weight. It was clinging onto that story, clinging onto that narrative, because for some reason I found safety in that limiting belief. I found safety in the comfort that was actually holding me back. And I had to fight myself to free myself. And I had to really learn how to embrace all of my big emotions. That is why on Friday I could recognize that my big emotions are coming up. My sadness is coming up. This discomfort is coming up, and learning just to sit with it and self-soothe and self-care, and hold space for myself. And sometimes it's just bearing non-judgmental witness. In the past, I would have to have a reason for feeling a certain way, but now I'm just okay with the fact that these emotions are here, and allow them to just peacefully wash over me and pass through. And another thing that I really had to learn on this journey is not to gaslight myself. And I know there's a big talk on, don't let people gaslight you. And I was like, yes, including yourself. I would sometimes be like, it's not that big a deal. And you're making more of this than it really is. But sometimes it is a big deal. If it feels like a big deal to me, it is a big deal. And if it feels major to me, it is major. And I'm allowed to feel those feelings without me downplaying them and without me gaslighting myself. And all of that has taught me that every person walking this earth's surface, first of all, doesn't have everything figured out, so I don't need to either. And secondly, that we're all just trying our best. And especially right now, in the middle of this pandemic, we are everybody's trying our best. And everybody's best looks different from mine, which has really increased my grace, compassion, and empathy for myself, but most importantly for everyone else too. And it teaches me to hold space for myself and also to hold space for others. I was driving the other day and I got to a four-way stop, and I know I got there first and it was my turn to go, and this guy just went and then he flipped me off, and I was like, you know what? For all I know, he is experiencing so much grief and loss, and this is the only way he knows how to feel. Like, I don't need to hoot back. I don't need to flip him off back. And, sometimes you can fight a war in the opposite spirit. You can fight hate with love. You can fight pride with humility. And you can fight, misunderstanding with grace and understanding.